Good morning, everyone, and welcome to your weekly Flags recap, which was postponed last week because I was very busy and I had some truck problems that made me even more busy, and I hardly even have time to do this weekly Flags recap, but I'm going to. And I'm going to stick a lot of tangents in this because I just don't have time to make a different video for every different thing. So, we're going to begin in a couple minutes. First thing, there is a bunch of disclaimers for the weekly Flags recap. Follow the link, and it'll tell you all about the recap if you don't know anything about it. I am suffering from hay fever from some trees outside my house that they give off this pollen that I call summer snow. And basically I wake up with the sniffles every day for like 2 weeks. I need some Benadryl. Bad. So, yeah. Disclaimer, link below. Along with, you can follow along with everything I'm going to say here about all of the different flags. First off, though, I got a package from Seaside. You guys might know her as Lisa Ankh, Seaside Atheist, Seaside Anti-Theist. Lately, she's just been going by Seaside. I'm going to cover up some docs here and show you this is the package, but see this nice little tiger right there? Okay, so first off, this is going to be an unboxing video. I'm just going to do this because I haven't had time to open this package, and I kind of owe it to her. And there's the fail of me not being able to open the package right away. Okay, here we go. Okay, Good Earth overflowing with pure pleasure, and I had first thought this was a condom, but no, it's white tea. Yeah, wow, it really looks like a condom. That's good marketing for tea. Oh yeah, lots of other tea. Gray white tea, Bigelow tea, orange and spice tea. Brian J 1962 is getting really jealous right now. Cinnamon apple chamomile tea for when I have PMS. Peppermint caffeine free tea. Poison! Caffeine free. Mango passion fruit, and vanilla spice perfect energy. Why are they marketing tea that looks like condoms? This is a lot of tea for me to try. Dieter's tea, Zendo. English breakfast tea. I bet you Brian's had that one before. Sweet Dreams herb tea. I'm telling you that they're making them look like condoms on purpose. Sweet Dreams. There's another Good Earth. Tisane Citron Gingembre. I don't know, lemon ginger. Wild raspberry hibiscus. Okay, now this one is marketed as stash, and the packaging reminds me of that fake pot that was on the markets. You all know about the fake pot that was just like strawberry clippings from like strawberry plants, and then they sprayed it with this chemical that was like THC but wasn't. Yeah, that's what this marketing reminds me of. Don't smoke that shit or bath salts. You'll turn into a zombie. And wild blueberry acai. This one I'll probably try first because it has the antioxidants in it. Thank you, Lisa, for sending me a package of tea. I will get right on that after I drink about a case of Mountain Dew. And another thing before we start the recap, this you can follow along in the link below. I got a message from Sugarland Wren, and he wants to know if he quits. He says Social Blade, but it's actually RPM and Maker Studios. But if he quits this network relationship that I actually suggested to him a while back, and he goes back to regular AdSense, what would be the adverse effects to his partnership if he just went, with straight up Google AdSense stuff? And since this is the flags recap, I'm going to just concentrate on the flags aspect of it. There are benefits to being in the network that he's in, such as access to audio micro free music, and access to being able to put up video game footage that they have licensed. That aside, and the video game footage is one reason why people get network partnerships, to keep themselves from flagging. But, copyright strikes and shit. There is another type of flagging that I want to talk about. And this is, there's a team that works with Google that reviews videos that people try to monetize. Now, normally this happens really strictly for the first few videos that you monetize. You have to wait like a day and a half with Google AdSense straight up when you are a monetized YouTuber and you don't have a network, right? So you have to wait like a day and a half, and then finally they monetize it after all the views have already happened on it. And this happens a couple times until they start to trust you, right? And then you can monetize something and it'll be monetized within an hour, right? And then after a little bit of that, you can just monetize something right as you upload it, right? They'll trust you that much. But if you get a flag for anything, like Content ID match or anything else like that, they lose all trust in you and they start reviewing your shit again. So below the message that I got from Sugarland Wren, I'm going to leave a link to Assassinate This Ezio's video where he explains how he was flagged on monetization for a whole bunch of his videos where the monetization was removed, okay? Because they reviewed his content and they said, you know what, no. But here's the thing. They do that. They say no to a lot of things that should be monetizable. Like me talking to the camera with no music whatsoever. They have denied me before on just videos like that. Okay? Assassinate This Ezio. He's talking about like intro music that was created specifically for him and it's completely original being flagged as being recognized by by the Content ID system as other music, which has happened to other YouTubers like Brian J 1962. Anyways, all of that seems to be bypassed if you stay a network partner, Sugarland Wren, because the networks are not checking their members as stringently. Basically, as soon as I became a network partner, anything I wanted to monetize, even things that had been rejected by YouTube before, I just clicked the monetize button and poof, put a little check in the checkbox. Poof, it's monetized. And it's on me and the network. You know, we're basically vouching for it. Google doesn't accept that self-vouching for it. So that is another reason why I would stay with a network if I were you. I have not encountered poor payouts from networks like you say you have, and that is something that concerns me. But at your level of viewership, I don't know how to put this and not seem really mean, but the difference between $1.50 and $2. Let's see, your ad revenue was $19. I don't even know if I can say that in a video without getting flagged, by Google. Yeah, the difference between $19 and $15 if you are making less than you should. For the extra added benefit of not having to have your videos reviewed before they're monetized, and maybe actually having a little bit of a buffer if you do get flagged and it's unwarranted, which some people had taken advantage of before. Like Happy Cabby, before he got terminated, did successfully remove some strikes from his account by just talking to his network administrator. There are benefits that you don't seem to see in your message to me. So now, on with the weekly flags recap. Or not, because I have one more thing to talk about. CL Traffic Bananas. It's basically a program that helps you scam on Craigslist and keep a whole bunch of ads up. Anyways, there's a bunch of people saying how to get not flagged on Craigslist by you and still be able to use it. Videos like that get flagged off of YouTube because they are promoting like multi-level marketing and scamming and frauds and all that. It's under that category. So I got flooded this past 2 weeks with a lot of videos about CL Traffic Bananas and Craigslist Ghostbuster and a bunch of scam and fraud videos that were flagged down. Meta-analysis. Great Debate community did have the most flags, but another community that I have created just to group this information together, that I'm calling the conspiracy community, they are chasing the Great Debate community this week as far as the drama that has come up from their videos being flagged down. In the Great Debate community, we have the flag of the week, or 2 weeks, which would be the Amazing Atheist. And something that I haven't heard from a lot of the people that have responded to the Amazing Atheist being flagged is, what I want you all to do is watch the Amazing Atheist video about it, because he lists all of the videos that were flagged down. And I want you to pay attention to the names of the videos that were flagged down. I think that it was an issue with how he named his videos. If he had named his videos Candy Canes and Gumdrops and Chocolate, then I don't think he would have had the videos flagged. Just listen to the names of the videos, not the content at all. Forget the content. I think there's a pattern in those names. Pay attention. I'm going to give you a couple links to people's reactions to him being flagged and Coughlin's reaction to him, which, I do feel a little bit like if somebody has been around and not supported people who, other people who were flagged, in any way, because they aren't really part of a community, they're just there and producing and putting things out, but they don't really interact with people anymore. then when they call on that community that does exist after they've kind of left it and just, you know, been on their own, lone wolf style, you know, does that community really have an obligation to have their back? You know, I would have his back anyway, as far as anyone being censored for anything, you know. But yeah, I see the frustration of if you don't give anyone a shout out when they get flagged, you shouldn't expect one when you get flagged down. Next, we have Disposable Gorilla, who is upset that Atheism Defended was false flagged. So he's given him a shout out. Atheism Defended is now Atheism Imprisoned for a little while, you know, while he's waiting to get access to his channel back. Leave you a couple links to stuff on that. Not covered in the last recap, but probably should have been, was Gluteus Jesus was terminated, and Gluteus Domine is still up, and his next stop is God Hates Reprobates, which is Gluteus Day. Yeah, we don't have any Mimica this week, so we don't have the trifecta over the last 2 weeks. I don't know what the Mimica's doing. He must have a life. Now, here's one that I'm just going to let you ruminate on a little bit. Happy Cabby was terminated on Daily Motion. And he still does not feel like there's a problem with the terms of service of the video sharing sites that he is joining. Rather, he feels like the problem is with him, and he needs to follow their terms of service and not make channels on the video sharing sites that tell him that he shouldn't be making channels, even though everybody else who gets terminated just makes another channel. At this point, I'm just going to say the hypocrisy of him creating a channel on YouTube would be something just short-lived in the ponage arena, and probably nobody really would fucking care. And yeah, at least he would be able to have a voice and get heard. You know, weigh hypocrisy versus having a voice at all. I'd go with some hypocrisy for a minute. Hatred 42 was flagged, and he made a video about that and some other things. I disagree with Hatred 42 on the definition of what doc dropping is. You know, somebody can have their name publicly available for a minute, or, you know, forget that they publicly outed themselves in one arena, and you know, you can find their information publicly available, and then, you know, say, well, you're already on the internet somewhere else, so I can do that to you here. I still call that doc dropping if somebody is, you know, publicly listed somewhere else with the information that they don't want you spreading around. But I think it has more to do with, like, intent as to whether it's wrong to doc drop someone. For instance, if you are doc dropping someone in order to stifle them and shut them up, like what happened to Veridical Cadence, where people were injecting his real name in the middle of conversation in order to trip him up, to make him think, like, how did you figure out my real name, rather than actually be able to participate in the discussion that he was in. That is bad doc dropping. But if you just happen to slip up and say someone's name and your intent was not to hurt them, it's not as bad. It's kind of like, you all know Bruce Shepard, the Stigmadane. If he were to, say, cross the street out in front of his house, he would probably be jaywalking because there's no traffic light anywhere near, because he lives in a little podunk town full of redneck hillbillies. So, is it bad that he crosses the street without using an intersection and a crosswalk? He just crosses right in the middle. No. It's just a little tiny thing. Who the fuck cares? Same thing with dock dropping. If your intent is to really hurt someone, and your intent is to, say, expose them to their employers as having some opinions that their employers don't like because you don't like their opinions, and you want to let their employers know that they have opinions and you want their employers to shut them up, that's bad dock dropping. Mentioning that somebody has a real name and that it's listed somewhere, and maybe in passing just saying their first name and then being corrected, hey, that's not as bad. And, I've had Inventor Gorilla's docs just like Hatred 42, and I'm just going to go ahead and doc drop Inventor Gorilla right now. His real name is Christian McNobslobber. And if he would like to refute my claim that his real name is Christian McNobslobber, then he can just come up with an alternative. Because until he can prove otherwise, his name is Christian McNobslobber. And that's what I have to say about Hatred's video. Slight disagreement. Enigma Hood was DMCA'd by SS Sniper Wolf, who is known by some other names like Super Sexy Sniper and whatnot. Chicken Doodle Sauce sent me a report about Napalm had a video called Flabby Cabby Shit Canned Victory Fanfare. It was just gloating that Happy Cabby was flagged off of YouTube, and that was flagged off of YouTube. And I saw the original video, and that's what it was. It was gloating. But somehow that kind of gloating gets turned into, being against the bullying and harassing and threatening clauses of YouTube, when somebody's just happy that somebody, met the same fate that they brought to hundreds of other channels. Not actually a flag report, but because Rob Lester had been flagged down on so many different channels and had so many videos that went down, I decided to send him a personal message asking him to list all of the different mirror channels that he has, and he did for me, and I'm going to share that with you all. It happened sometime in the last 2 weeks. Bruce Shepard, the Stigmadane, who lives in Podunk Redneck Hell, he sent me a notice that his video on the Spanky DeMonkey channel about the Amazing Atheists video going down was also flagged down. 10 Phoenix 01 got a false DMCA, and he would be using the Brian's Brother Brian channel as his backup. But 10 Phoenix 01 and Gnarly Rants both got DMCA'd, and it has to do with a feud with Life in a Camp, aka Life in a Tent, aka To Be or Not Be, aka Megan Speaks' ex-boyfriend or whatnot. Anyway, Gnarly Rants sends me a message where he says that he was flagged and 10 Phoenix 01 was flagged. 10 Phoenix 01 sends me a message where he says he was flagged and Gnarly Rants was flagged. Basically, they had each other's back. And in my blog post, I will just show you guys how awesome it was that they both had the same idea to not just report for themselves, but report the other people that were being affected by this. One side note, which gets me a little bit personally involved in that matter, I saw a message on the video of 10 Phoenix 01 from Life in a Camp, and this was posted as a comment, and it basically said, "I took my videos down, now you take yours down." And basically that was not a request, it was a command. And then later on, the video got DMCA'd. I'm sure that 10 Phoenix 01 can check the email account associated with his channel and produce the actual comment, but basically I saw motive, as it were, if we're going to blame this on Life in a Camp, because you never really can tell who flagged something unless they admit it, and you can only have evidence that they might have. Well, this is that motive evidence that they might have. And lastly, in the Great Debate community, we've got the Brain Enema, who didn't report it herself, but somebody else reported that she got flagged. So I'll leave you that video. In the commentary community, Onision Speaks was flagged, and there's a good explanation of what happened by Amerson Speaks, so I'll leave you a link to that video. James Mastro Piero thinks Onision flagged him, and I'll leave you a link to his video accusing Onision. Then there's Dibber's page. This is a guy, he's got almost 5,000 subs, and he just basically does like fake news with an Australian accent. And he has a really good rant on this Google Plus thing. Now, Google Plus, for the last week, has been asking me if I want to start using my real name on my channel. And I think one of the things that is prompting this is every time I use a different computer to log into my YouTube account, because I'll go from home, be logged in, and then go to work. Basically, every time I switch computers to check my YouTube channel, I get prompted with, "Hey, do you want to switch to using your real name?" And it's getting annoying because they're closing off all of the options to not use your real name. Like, each time it happens, there's something a little bit different. Like, they're trying to make it so that one of these times I'm going to click, okay, yes, use my real name, and then I'll never be able to go back. Like, okay, you on that one time you said use your real name, and now you can never go back because that's a permanent change. But if they keep on prompting and prompting and prompting, it's going to happen on accident to someone. Like, say, Girl Writes What now has her name posted as Karen. And did she mean to do that on purpose? I hope she did. Because, just connecting it to your Google Plus account, you might not realize how it's going to undo your username everywhere and just use your real name. So, people who have been known by their username for so long, they might have a myriad of different reasons why they don't want to use their real name. Girl Writes What has had the most horrible trolls, and had her docs dropped when she got DMCA'd and all that. And she has good reason for not using her real name. Why she switched, I hope she did it on purpose. but I can see how somebody could accidentally do it. Also, when they want you to connect your Google Plus account to YouTube, they want you to make a page for your channel.